noticed by now, I have a real fascination with plants, and besides the rowan tree, tansy is one of my favorite plants. My grandmother was very fond of it, and when I was growing up, she taught me a lot of the fairy lore and other lore behind it, and I think that's where my attraction to the plant stems from. Anyways, I hope that you enjoy this installment of our Wortcunning series on common tansy. Some of the other names that are commonly attributed to tansy is bitter buttons, fairy buttons, or buttons. Tansy is a very attractive perennial with groupings of small yellow button-like flowers and feathery leaves, and it grows about 2 to 3 feet tall. It is native to Europe, but has become naturalized very successfully in North America. In the wild, tansy can be found growing along roadsides and hedgerows, in fields and in so-called waste areas. It prefers full sun to part shade, and does very well in many different types of climates, including mine, which is a Canadian hardiness zone 3B to 4A. In the spring, you can propagate tansy from seed as soon as the ground is warm enough to work. Keep the soil a little moist to a little dry. You will not have to worry too much about pests or diseases, and it can flourish even in poor soil. Tansy usually blooms in July and August and should not be harvested in the first year of growth. Harvest flowers and leaves between June and August. Tansy is potentially toxic if it's ingested in large amounts. It can cause skin irritation for those with sensitive skin, and tansy should be avoided by those who are pregnant or want to be pregnant because it can induce miscarriage. It should also be avoided by women who are nursing mothers. Quite a few old-time herbalists sung tansy's praises for its healing properties. Culpeper said it is an agreeable bitter, a carminative, and a destroyer of worms, for which a powder of the flower should be taken from 6 to 12 grains at night and in the morning. Modern herbalist and wise woman Susan Lee suggests in her book, Wise Women Herbal for the Childbearing Year, that tansy is a very effective means of causing a miscarriage for those who are even a few weeks late for their period. Used externally, tansy can work very well for bruises, sprains, and arthritis. Tansy has often been associated with immortality, and in the past it was used for embalming the dead. It is said by Paul Barrel in his book Master Book of Herbalism that tansy is an appropriate herb to be used in a funeral to, quote, asperge the temple and the deceased. Tansy is sometimes used in rituals celebrating womanhood, motherhood in particular, and it is said to be a herb of the mother goddesses and sometimes the Virgin Mary. It is also associated with the goddess Venus and the element of water. It is thought to be a favored plant by the fairies, and if you want to attract the good folks' favor to your property and their protection to your property, it's a good plant to have in your garden. Tansy can be placed in a shoe for safe travels, sewn into a blue cloth for healing, and hung over openings of a home such as a window, a door, or the hearth, or worn in a pouch for protection from curses. Tansy is an excellent insect repellent because of its pungent scent. According to Garden Toad's Companion Planting Guide, tansy makes an excellent companion plant to cucumbers, squash, roses, grapes, raspberries, and blackberries. In it they say that it will deter striped cucumber beetles, ants, flies, squash bugs, and Japanese beetles. Historically, tansy was used in various culinary dishes and as a dye, and a girlfriend of mine says that it's excellent for a compost heap. If there's anything that you want to add about common tansy, if there's something that I forgot, please feel free to leave a comment, a video response, or a private message. Thanks for watching. Sláinte.